Some of the best voices in the book community right now are Black creators. So today I'm giving you 10 amazing Black book creators that you need to keep on your radar. Of course, representation matters. Supporting diversity, spotlighting underappreciated creators, and celebrating uniqueness is what this channel is made for. By the end of this video, you will walk away with an evergreen list of creators that will expand your TBR and expose you to all that the book community has to offer. But before we begin, I would love to take a moment to show my appreciation to every single incredible Black creator that I've mentioned throughout this series. If you've missed any of my videos in the Black BookTubers to Watch series, make sure to click this card right up here to make sure you don't miss any more of my videos. The very first booktuber that I would love to mention is LexReads. LexReads is a cozy, lifestyle-centered booktube channel that blends reading culture with everyday life, creating a space that feels both relaxing and deeply relatable for modern readers. Lex primarily posts reading vlogs, book hauls, seasonal TBRs, annotation, and e-reader content. Not to mention she has some very cozy reading routines, bookstore trips, and lifestyle-focused videos that revolve around the joy of reading. Her channel has a strong emphasis on intentional reading habits, creating comforting reading environments, and celebrating Black literature and romance. The books that Lex gravitates towards are largely romance novels by Black authors, contemporary fiction, women's fiction, literary fiction, and emotionally layered stories centered on relationships, family, healing, and personal growth. She also incorporates fantasy, historical fiction, and popular contemporary titles into her reading life. Across her videos, she constantly highlights Black authors and stories, whether she's recommending summer romances, discussing emotional resonant fiction, or sharing anticipated new releases. Authors like Britt Bennett, Natasha Bishop, N.K. Jemisin, and Viola Davis frequently align the kinds of books she champions. Her content never feels performative, but instead she makes the hobby of reading feel very comforting, sustainable, and downright cozy. Let's just be honest. Whether she's organizing annotation supplies or building a new bookcase for her cozy bookish corner, or even recommending affordable ways to access literature, she presents reading in such a way that naturally fits into her daily life. So make sure you guys go over to her channel, subscribe, and let her know that I sent you. This next creator was mentioned numerous times in my comments for my last video within this series, and her name is LocDBooktician. After taking a deeper look into her content, it's clear that her channel blends booktube, horror culture, community activism, and deeply personal reading discussions into a space that feels both intentionally engaging and socially aware. Her content is passionate, unfiltered, and centered on creating inclusive conversations within the reading community. Most of her videos include reading vlogs, horror and thriller recommendations, manga discussions, readathon announcements, book reactions, lifestyle updates, and educational conversations about reading habits and accessibility. She also creates community-centered events like the July Noir Readathon and Blackoween, which uplift Black creators in horror, mystery, thriller, and spooky genres. A lot of the topics she discusses revolve around the diverse literature, neurodivergent reading experiences, reading accessibility, politics and literature, and the value of reading beyond mainstream recommendations. Her channel consistently engages viewers to personalize their reading lives instead of treating reading like a performance. What makes LocDBooktician such a compelling booktuber to watch is how authentic, community-driven, and inclusive her content feels. She openly discusses her experiences as a neurodivergent that has dyslexia, ADHD, and anxiety, which makes her advice and her reading experiences very validating for viewers who suffer from the same exact things. Another thing that makes her so relatable is how she relates her reading experiences to the real-life issues and problems that go on within our community. Whether she's discussing political awareness or advocating for the immigration community, critiquing the lack of diversity in mainstream literature, which is very true, or even building reading marathons around marginalized voices. Her content is very consistent and it pushes her viewers to think critically about the stories that they're reading. So for the readers out there that love horror, thrillers, mysteries, mangas, and just overall diverse storytelling, LocDBooktician is the one to follow. The third person on the list is alexisbriana. Alexis loves to showcase her lifestyle vlogging, bookish content, and self-care into a warm, relatable reading experience. The channel feels personal, comforting, and community-focused, like talking about books and life with a friend who wants reading to feel joyful and accessible. Most of the videos include reading vlogs, book hauls, bookstore adventures, lifestyle content, reading space makeovers, mental wellness, and personal growth, which makes the content feel grounded and authentic. Most of the topics she discusses center around rediscovering yourself through reading, book therapy, self-care, intentional living, affordable reading habits, diverse reading, and creating cozy spaces for books in everyday life. She often frames reading as a way to reset emotionally and connect, rather than a source of pressure or productivity. In terms of books that Alexis likes to read, contemporary fiction, memoirs, self-care books, self-help books, and dystopian fiction. There's authors like Suzanne Collins, Tia Williams, Julia Quinn, and Anna Wong that align closely with the kinds of books that she loves to read. Alexis feels like such a warm and cozy booktuber to watch, in my opinion, because her content feels very relatable, because I too am a mother, and that approach makes me feel comfortable. She often shares the realities of balancing reading and motherhood within her videos, just the same way I do. Work, mental health, and just the overall daily responsibilities as a mother, which makes her channel feel very refreshing for me to watch, so we can relate on many things. Whether she's browsing the bookstores after a stressful day, reorganizing her book reading corner, sharing affordable book resources, or even talking about book therapy in her videos, her content feels very welcoming, warming, and personal, but not too personal. So if you want a creator that feels very cozy to watch, she has diverse book recommendations and honest conversations about life that goes beyond reading books. This fourth creator was also mentioned in my comments numerous of times, and a lot of people said that her videos and book reviews go very in depth, and she does a great job with explaining each and every book that she reads, and her name is Favored Reader. It's clear that the channel centers on thoughtful literature analysis, classic literature, Black literature, and reflective reading experiences. The content feels intelligent, intentional, and academically grounded while still being warm and approachable. Most of the videos include detailed book reviews, literary discussions, reading updates, classic literature deep dives, ranking videos, bookshelf tours, and long-term reading projects. There's also a strong focus on engaging critically with books rather than simply consuming them, which gives the channel a discussion-driven, reflective atmosphere. Most of the topics revolve around race, identity, history, literary craft, social commentary, philosophy, and the emotional and intellectual impact books can have across generations. The creator also unpacks difficult themes, provides context for older works, and explores how literature connects to large cultural conversations. In terms of books that Favored Reader loves to gravitate towards, she reads literary fiction, Black literature, memoirs, historical fiction, dystopian fiction, and many, many more. Authors like Toni Morrison, Percival Everett, Zora Neale Hurston, James Joyce, and a few other. These authors align with the type of books that she discusses throughout her channel. When I want to watch a booktuber that goes into depth about every single book that she reads, Favored Reader is the #1 person that is on my mind. She takes each and every book review nice and slow, goes into depth about the things that she wants to discuss about the book or whatever she has read, and critically thinks about each topic that's discussed within the book. As we're moving into the 5th booktuber that you need to watch, while I was researching creators to put into this video, I did not realize how difficult it is to find Black male booktubers to watch. There's tons of them on Instagram and TikTok, but a lot of these men don't have YouTube channels that they can go into further discussions and post long form content for the books that they want to review and talk about. So I just want to highlight that every single person, including the males, are very significant to this video, and I hope you guys love their content just as much as I do. With that being said, the 5th creator, who are known as John and Sierra, go by And They Are Readers. They have created a book channel that feels thoughtful, reflective, and deeply intentional. Their content goes beyond simply reviewing books. It explores how reading connects to creativity, critical thinking, slow living, and building a more meaningful life offline. Most of the videos they post include reading wrap-ups, literary discussions, reading blogs, themed reading projects, lifestyle conversations, and immersive learning experiences. They also create videos centered around analog hobbies, traveling, nature, this giving their channel a cozy intellectual atmosphere. Many of the topics they discuss revolve around the emotional impact of reading, literary analysis, mythology, creativity, identity, critical thinking, slowing down in a hyper-digital world, and finding joy in offline experiences. Their channel consistently engages viewers to engage more deeply with books, ideas, and everyday life rather than passively consuming content online. John and Sierra heavily gravitate towards literary fiction, classics, mythology, memoirs, contemporary fiction, speculative fiction, and culturally reflective stories. They also explore fundamental literature like the Iliad, the Odyssey, and Greek mythology retellings alongside modern literature works and emotionally introspective novels. What makes John and Sierra so compelling to watch as booktubers is how funny and naturally goofy they are together. You can tell as soon as they turn on the camera, they have so much fun filming together. And the fact that they can have a common hobby of reading together is just something you don't see often on BookTube. Another thing that makes their content feel very natural and stand out in such a good way is how they blend their love for literature with their lifestyle. Whether they're discussing 5-star reads that they have just finished, camping in the mountains, tending to their plants in their home, or building a mythology curriculum, everything ties back to the idea of them being more present, curious, and connecting with the world around them. The sixth booktuber is BlackLitGeek. After taking a deeper look into BlackLitGeek, it's clear that the channel is built around thoughtful, immersive, and culturally reflective conversations about literature, book collecting, and the reading experience itself. The content feels calm, intellectual, and deeply personal, like stepping into the library of someone who genuinely lives and breathes books. Not to mention, he talked about in one of his videos that he has 5,000 books in his book collection. Most of the videos include reading vlogs, reading sessions, book reviews, collecting tours, reading wrap-ups, and deep dives into both classic and contemporary literature. There's also a strong focus on physical books, vintage paperbacks, book collecting, and creating intentional reading spaces, which gives the channel a nostalgic, book lover-centered atmosphere. Many topics revolve around Black literature, historical fiction, race, trauma, identity, philosophy, and the emotional weight stories can carry. The channel also highlights the value of reading slowly and thoughtfully, rather than rushing the productivity or trends. BlackLitGeek reads a plethora of different books, from classics to contemporary fiction to historical fiction, horrors, thrillers, memoirs, and vintage pulp fiction. The popular authors like Toni Morrison, James Baldwin, Albert French, Percival Everett, and others align with the books that he loves to talk about and discuss on his page. I think the most underrated videos on his channel is his Read With Me videos. The aesthetic in his apartment and his loft feels so warming and cozy. The lighting atmosphere and the ambiance feels so relaxing. You can vicariously crack open a book in your space and feel like you're sitting at home with him while you're watching his videos and reading along with him. Sometimes these Read Along With Me videos can be up to 2 hours, which is amazing. And because of that, his videos feel very authentic. But when you watch his videos aren't just about doing book reviews. They're about perceiving literary culture, engaging critically with the stories that he reads, and building a meaningful relationship with reading. So whether BlackLitGeek is reading to lo-fi music, unpacking thousands of books, discussing psychological horror, or deeply reflecting on emotionally heavy literature, his content definitely feels immersive, calming, and rooted for the love of books, because you can genuinely see that in every single one of his videos. If you want to follow someone that has deep thought into every single book and literature that he picks up, BlackLitGeek is the one to go to. The seventh creator is someone that has flown under my radar for quite a while. I've been subscribed to his channel for a minute, but for some reason his videos never pop up on my timeline, and he has amazing videos where he talks about tons of books from a different perspective than I've seen on BookTube, and his name is CalebCurl. After looking more closely at CalebCurl's content, it's clear that his channel is about more than books. His videos sit at the intersection of reading, self-discipline, personal development, and intentional living. The overall vibe of his channel feels thoughtful, motivating, and reflective. Rather than treating reading as a simple entertainment, Caleb frames books as a tool for transformation, focus, and mental clarity. His content blends traditional booktube with self-improvement and lifestyle philosophy. Most of his videos are discussion-based and focused on reading habits, productivity, mindset shifts, attention span, and digital minimalization. He talks often about the downsides of doom scrolling, social media addiction, and overstimulation, and encourages viewers to reclaim their focus by replacing endless scrolling with intentional reading. A major theme within Caleb's channel is self-discipline. He frequently discusses morning routines, praying, meditation, journaling, and building habits around the person that you want to become. And it's so blatant obvious that his content is tailored and it points towards intentional growth and lifelong learning. In terms of books that Caleb likes to read, he gravitates towards business books, productivity books, self-help, mindset-focused nonfiction, and he's starting to dabble into fiction as well. So books like Rich Dad, Poor Dad, Deep Work, Digital Minimalism, and The Purpose for Driven Life align closely with the books that he discusses on his channel. And as I mentioned before, he is starting to explore and dabble into fiction by reading The Count of Monte Cristo, which will help expand his creativity and perspective. Caleb's content is so much fun to watch because not only does he talk about and discusses books that he has read, but he is showing viewers practical ways that they can improve their focus, sharpen their critical thinking, and change the way that they are approaching their life. So overall, Caleb's channel feels like a space that is more than just about books. It's for people that are interested in self-help, development, self-growth, and learning how to thrive in a world that is full of distractions. Let's move right along to DezmondZ. Desmond's channel is one that I'm familiar with and I've seen quite often on my book channel, and it's clear that his channel is rooted in thoughtful, discussion-heavy topics that prioritize honest reactions, emotional reflection, and nuanced literary conversation. His content feels conversational and grounded, like listening to a well-read friend unpack their thoughts in real time. Most of the videos he posts include reading wrap-ups, in-depth reviews, reading vlogs, recommendation videos, and themed literary discussions. What stands out is how detailed and analytical his commentary is. He doesn't just explain what a book is about. He breaks down why certain themes, character choices, writing styles, or emotional arcs did or did not work for him. Many of the topics Desmond discusses revolve around identity, grief, race, class, relationships, generational trauma, and the emotional impact stories leave behind. He's also vocal about how books connect the real-world conversations, often discussing social commentary, cultural issues, and the role literature plays in shaping perspective. Desmond's taste in books is very broad but intentional. He gravitates towards literary fiction, contemporary fiction, family dramas, speculative fiction, thrillers, and obviously character-driven stories. Many of the books that he likes to talk about and highlights have complex relationships, social issues, queer identities, Black experiences, or morally complicated characters. Desmond is such a fun booktuber to watch because of how honest his reading experience is. Whether he loves a book, hates a book, feels conflicted about a book, or regrets finishing a book that he should have DNF'd. That transparency with each and every one of his videos feels very authentic and real to him. His videos feel less like a formal review and more like a meaningful conversation about storytelling and what books can reveal about people and society that we live in. So give him a follow. Ladies and gentlemen, we're getting close to the end of this video, so if you have not done it by now, make sure you click subscribe. This next booktuber on my list I have been following on TikTok for quite a while now, and I just realized that he has a YouTube channel, and it is TheLitLoungeWithMike. Mike's YouTube channel is built around analytical, discussion-heavy topics with a strong focus on science fiction, fantasy, philosophy, and literary critique. His content feels thoughtful, opinionated, and grounded in genuine engagement with books rather than surface-level hype. Most of his videos include reading wrap-ups, in-depth reviews, themed recommendation videos, reading challenges, ranking videos, and long-form discussions of genre fiction and literary themes. He also takes on ambitious reading projects, like reading every sci-fi novel that won the Hugo, Nebula, and Locus Awards in the same year, which gives the channel an intentional, research-driven feel. Many of the topics Mike discusses revolve around storytelling quality, originality, philosophy, politics and literature, social commentary, characterization, and how effectively books execute their ideas. His critiques are highly analytical, often breaking down writing styles, plot structure, themes, pacing, and world building in detail. Mike is not afraid to criticize beloved classic literature, challenge popular opinions in the book community, or admit when an acclaimed book just did not work and fit out for him. And because of that makes all of his book reviews and his videos very authentic. And because of that honesty, that makes a lot of his reviews and his videos trustworthy. Another thing that makes his videos stand out to me is the way that he's able to connect larger cultural, political, and philosophical conversations. Whether he's discussing Black literature, fantasy tropes, or sci-fi concepts, his videos constantly encourage the viewers to engage more deeply about the stories that they're interacting with and how they can perceive those own storylines into their life. Overall, The Lit Lounge with Mike feels like a channel that is meant for readers who want to have a deeply engaging conversation with literature, thoughtful genre analysis, and intellectually stimulating conversations about books. Last person on this list is my boy BookswithMyles. Miles is another booktuber that I've been following on Book Talk for quite a while now. I want to say up to a year now, and I had to shout him out in this video. Miles has built his channel to be about passionate, high energy discussions of fantasy, sci-fi, horror, thriller, and comic book culture. His content feels enthusiastic, immersive, and strongly community-driven, especially for readers who love epic storytelling and genre fiction. Most of his videos include book reviews, recommendation videos, author interviews, reading wrap-ups, favorite book lists, and discussions about comics and collecting. He also interviews major fantasy authors like John Gwynne and Jay Kristoff, giving viewers insight into the writing process, world building, character development, and the inspiration behind popular fantasy series. Many of the topics Miles explores revolve around the epic fantasy, mythology, battle-heavy storytelling, emotional character arcs, horror elements, sci-fi concepts, and immersive world building. He frequently talks about what makes stories emotionally impactful, addictive, and unforgettable. As I've said before, Miles seems very drawn to epic, high-stakes sci-fi and fantasy books with rich lore and morally gray characters when there is a lot at stake and high-scale conflict. He has had the opportunity to interview quite a few authors, which is the coolest thing in the world. What makes Miles such a fun booktuber to watch is how excited and engaged he gets about reading and talking about discussions for books. His enthusiasm is definitely contagious, and that urges a lot of his viewers to pick up books that he recommends. Whether he's discussing a fantasy series, showcasing vintage comics, or interviewing best-selling authors, his passion for storytelling is so evident. So Books with Miles is definitely a person that you want to follow if you are in love with sci-fi and fantasy series. Now that you have a list of 10 amazing Black booktubers that you can watch today, let me know down in the comments some of your go-to booktubers to watch. And don't forget to click on the play card up here so you can watch the other parts of this series, Black booktubers to watch. YouTube thinks that you're gonna like this video right here, so click it, watch it, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.